that. I'm going to give you that opportunity tonight. See, the only thing that you have to do, Ken, is come out here, pin me, 1, 2, 3, sign the contract, and you have your match with Jeff Hardy.
I'm so fucking intrigued. I mean, I think the one thing we've been missing this whole TNH journey is Matt Morgan going for the championship.
Why is he doing why?
They're forced into it because Ken Anderson, I guess. I don't know, Van Damme's there. Van Damme Hardy is a ready-made story. I guess they think they're building to that, but you might want to, I don't know, push that one up a little bit. That's the thing, they accelerate all the wrong things. And the things that should be accelerated sit there simmering for some rainy day. Let's talk about Ken Anderson. Got a little headache. Slayer says, the guy not tough enough to be a wrestler? Bischoff says, I don't want anybody to accuse Hulk Hogan, Eric Bischoff, or Ric Flair of not being fair. So in the spirit of fairness, I'm going to give you one last opportunity. You want to face Jeff Hardy? We all know that. I'm going to give that to you tonight. All you have to do, come out here, pin me, 1, 2, 3, sign the contract, you'll get your match with Jeff Hardy. But given the fact...
Why are you giving him a shot at Jeff Hardy? I don't understand.
No, I couldn't play that 2K.
I know, it's pissing you off.
I know what you're saying about Anderson.
No, Rick, this is
but that's not...
What I understand is why...
No, in the storyline world, there's no reason...
Right.
That he would offer Matt Morgan the chance to qualify for the
title. Win 5 fights.
He should do the exact opposite.
I picked the wrong fucking...
Just try to prevent him like Vince did Austin.
Right. I don't... So stupid.
So stupid. This is like, they spend time on all the wrong details. It's not that they don't have attention to detail, but when you watch the shows back, you're like, they were all focused on these things, and there's this glaring, question of fundamental wrestling logic that's not addressed. Why do these people qualify for the main event title shot? Why?
Right. Because I'll tell you what. He sucks.
Yeah.
Matt Morgan, the title matches that he has with Jeff Hardy are a disaster. They're so, nobody gives a shit.
Nobody gives a shit, yeah.
Automation is powering what's possible for businesses of every size in every industry. Unlock your potential at Automate, the largest showcase of robotics and automation in North America, May 22nd through the 25th in Detroit, Michigan. With over 600 exhibitors, 200 speakers, and more than 25,000 registrants, there's no better way to power your business. Register for free at AutomateShow.com. That's AutomateShow.com.
Atlantis Casino Resort Spa Reno. Save 25% off on luxury and premier rooms. Book now for stays through June 30th, 2023. Go to AtlantisCasino.com/25off.
It's hard for me to tell if they don't give a shit about Jeff defending the title as a heel, or if they... I guess if he's in there with someone more interesting.
They boo him. They boo him at times. Again, I think he does great stuff as a heel in these matches. He plays a great chicken shit heel, running out, doing all the stuff that you get to get heel heat. But nobody cares when Matt Morgan responds.
Right. Sees the opening to win. But given the fact that we ordered your doctors to report, and you're probably watching this at home and sitting on your couch with an ice bucket on your head, it's unlikely, but let me make one thing clear. You don't get your skinny little white ass down to this ring. Concussion... or whatever, concussion, stub toe, whatever, you will never get a shot at Jeff Hardy if you don't come down here. Now, since you're sitting at home watching, and if by some odd chance you can get here in the next 2 hours, Bischoff says, I'm going to give you a little sample of what you're in for. He goes, Stifler, come here. He's talking about the referee. Bischoff sucks chant. Prematurely released. What? All right, I don't know what that is. Okay, they're saying they're going to put a career in jeopardy here. Ric Flair says, I want to unlock the cuffs of it. What?
Tossing him to the floor.
He tosses the ref to the floor? Okay.
Yeah. I have that. But he calls the ref over, he attacks him, and then sends him to the floor.
Bischoff says, you called me a liar. Flair's talking back to you. Bischoff says, the ref is selling the head, and he gives Bischoff gives him some little bitch kicks to the ribs.
It's so stupid.
Kicks the ref out of the ring.
Kick. It's it's ridiculous. They're so weak.
Well, it's like comedy. He knows he's throwing foolish-looking offense. He thought he was actually looking good in Starrcade '98. I feel like that was a Zbyszko match. He actually thought he looked good the way he kicked, but here he's sort of mocking himself because he knows he's fat and shit. He's wearing like shoes that like a cameraman from a news station wears. You know,
Right.
He's got like these beat up old sneakers, and he talks about it in his book when he goes back and looks at this, just how not dressed for television he was back then, and how little of a fuck he gave about appearing to be TV worthy back then. And
Yeah.
it's kind of stunning to him because it was apparently something he cared a lot about. So he's throwing those kicks. He kicks the ref out of the ring, and of course the ref, after being kicked in the ribs twice, is knocked out cold for 100 years. That's the beautiful wrestling logic. Referees get, smushed in the back, and it takes away their consciousness for 3.5 hours. And he says, "Oh yeah, by the way, ref, I forgot you're fired." Flair says, "Listen, all of Anderson's assholes," drops to a knee and worships Flair, and they play Bischoff's music as the ref ails on the floor, and no one gives a shit. I don't know what made them think we wanted to see Eric Bischoff beat up a referee this week on Impact, but boss, that is certainly what we got.
Of course. Yeah.
This episode did a 1.15 rating and 1.41 million viewers. Not a great number, not a terrible number. Pretty even, steady audience throughout the show. There was a point where Jarrett is attacked by Samoa Joe that gained 74,000 viewers, which wasn't too bad, only to be reversed by an AJ Rhino RVD triple threat, which lost the same amount of viewers. So it's not a great pattern. The Bischoff Morgan segment at the end gained 196,000 viewers, but that got credited to Reaction once again, which did a .63 rating and 754,000 viewers, even with that advantage. And if you're wondering where our faithful hero is during all this, what Hulk Hogan's up to, this appeared in The Observer. Hogan this past week tweeted a topless photo of a woman. He only showed her boobs, no face for positive identification. That led to speculation the implants were either his fiancées or his daughters. I
was actually thinking, he must have been fucking posting pictures of Brooke Teeny.
It's a question. I mean, she did get a boob job around this time. She's admitted that in sworn testimony. So
that's hilarious.
It's not like
amazing that she had to swear testimony about her tits.
Yeah, it was basically asking her like if she'd ever undergone any like surgical procedure,
brother,
in sort of asking the degree to which she understood the typical procedures before you go into surgery, and testifying about what happened to her dad and his many botched surgeries or ineffective surgeries. And she comes right out and says, "I got a boob job," and the attorney's like, "Well, I didn't."
Brother, dude, why, brother?
Why did I get a boob job, Dad?
Brother.
Well, Brooke Teeny, those are looking good. Let me take a picture of
Wow, they did a really good job. Can I see that? Oh.
18, maybe?
Sure, Dad. Oh, that's pretty good.
Sure, Dad.
Oh, easy. Guess what I'm doing right now?
Oh, I'm pressing the wrong button.
What are you doing, Al?
Feeling a Brooke Teeny, brother. You want to come over, dude? Take a whack at him, brother?
Legendary! Come over and take a whack at him! Take a whack at him! Paul Wall's here, brother. It's fine. Easy, bring your grill. Paul Wall's gonna love it. Eric Bischoff slapping Brooke Hogan's tits with a grill in his mouth like he's a rapper from 2010. In other words,
he's doing that later on in another episode coming up.
In other words, everything is perfectly fine.
It's a whole fucking receiving line of all the fucking clowns just grabbing Brooke's tits. Hobbs, Beefcake, Bubba the Love Sponge?
I'm sorry, I'm so glad to hit me back, man. I thought I'd never be in here. I thought you'd never invite me back after what Down to the Pin is.
Brother, fucking touch him, dude.
Get the fuck out.
Fucking fake, brother.
Todd Clem, dude?
Clem what, dude?
Clemson?
Clem sauce, brother?
Whoa. If he was boys with Bubba when he opened Pasta Mania, you better believe it would be
white Clem sauce.
White Clem sauce, no thanks. Those are the DVDs that no one ever released. I got a white Clem sauce, Terry, and I'm coming all over the place. And
fucking white Clem sauce.
Terry, I don't know if you know about this, but white clam sauce is about to flow like a mighty river.
Oh,
But you what, Bubba?
brother, at WrestleMania, we always have freshly squeezed white clem sauce, brother.
Baby? Where's Kate Kennedy at? She knows how to extract that particular ingredient. Can you picture the white clam sauce coming?
Extract that sauce.
The white clam sauce coming to Pastamania in 1995 to Mall of America in bags, like microwave bags. You know, like you get like salad in a bag.
You know, and it's you know how you know when you have stuff like it separates sometimes. That's right. You get the separated white clam sauce.
Delicious. Put it on my pasta at the mall. At the
In a
mall.
fucking plastic bag, looking like a fucking IV.
Pastamania, one of the things I just can't figure out why it didn't work, you know, all these years later. TNA Turning Point.
Oh,
November pay-per-view, November
funny, because
7th.
it absolutely is not.
I know. Well, boss, at least the opening isn't a hit Turning Point.
Okay. Oh, there.
What is real?
Not
What
wrestling.
is truth? We all know a universal truth. Our differences lie in how we distort it. TNA is a fantasy land where everyone's illusions become my reality. I am the Antichrist of professional wrestling. There's a turning point in everybody's life. Tonight is that night for the enigma. You're meaningless. Live for today, die for tomorrow. I've defeated death enough for 1,000 lifetimes. If you want something, I am who I am, you take it. And I do what I have to do. I serve one master, and that master is Jeff Hardy. I am the Antichrist of professional wrestling. Antichrist.
Everyone's illusions become my reality.
Listen. There, because you know, I think one of the reasons why it's working for me is because
Mark?
it's all bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, because as a wrestling fan, like if anything, it's kind of old school. Because you're talking about a guy who's talking himself up like he's this fucking great thing, but when he gets in the ring, he's a shit. Right. And he runs from everything. And I don't know, that it works for me.
Yeah,
It's Mr. Perfect saying he's fucking perfect, but then when he gets in the ring with somebody, he's running around all over the place trying to hide.
there is an element of he knows he's full of shit when he's doing these interviews. Definitely. It's kind of like he's kind of doing it with like a wink, wink, nudge, nudge almost.
Yeah, you know, I mean, again, or more of a
like MJF.
Yeah, well, MJF backs it up though. He's a different guy.
Oh, in terms of like the match itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like Jeff is saying the things MJF would say if you put a camera on him.
Let me at one?
Right.
Do your character.
Right. But what is that when he gets into the ring, he stalls in this match and just, you know, he plays that up a little bit.
It's interesting. That main event was, you know, universally panned, and the show was totally. The Observer readers gave it like 0 thumbs up. And when I listened to Bischoff's podcast on the show, and he started talking about how much he loved the show, I'm like, okay, now we're starting to get that line of where Bischoff starts to author TNA.
Yeah, right.
Where he actually considers himself responsible for some things that go on in the ring. And I kind of released that pet theory quickly because the next month's pay-per-view he did not like at all, and it was more positively received. So it's not like he's saying everything, post-October of 2010 is great, because that's when it seems like he starts to insinuate himself more into the creative process, and pretty soon, as we'll be talking about soon here in TNH, he becomes executive producer of TNA Wrestling. But that's that was telling to me that he absolutely was over the moon for a show that every single person that watched it hated, watching it back. Jeff was on a CBS talk show, The Talk, during this time period, according to the Observer, which I guess was CBS's answer to The View, with a tape message for a kid who had his arm broken by bullies and encouraging him. So, playing heel through and through. Great to see. That's the problem with Jeff. And you bring him in, because he's such a big star and such a big draw with people, and you turn him heel, like you're kind of looking a gift horse in the mouth. You're kind of fucking yourself.
They're good every day.
I mean, that is true.
That's the thing. People are still... That's the problem with TNA, is these guys from national television, nobody knows they're still on TV. Flair complained about it. Angle complained about it. Jeff Hardy, is still going to be sought out as a super popular babyface wrestler. People don't know he's a heel on television. So he's going to be constantly put in this awkward position of being a heel on TV and, having to sign Polaroids and do... essentially make-a-wishes. I mean, because nobody knows he's in wrestling anymore.
At the same time, that ain't so bad though, when you think about it. Because if these people aren't watching, then he can do both things.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, there's nothing really wrong with it. It's just, he's never going to be able to go all the way as a heel. And Hogan was in a similar position when he turned in '96.
Pretty sure he wasn't.
We talked a lot about that, but he found a way to do it. He found a way to still be Hollywood on like QVC, which was booked before he turned heel. He found a way to still be Hollywood, but give them the Hulk Hogan they thought they were getting if they weren't hip to his new character.
Right.
Jeff, it seems like he's got to be a totally different person for the public.
Well, also at this point too, keep in mind, it's also much different in terms of the existence of kayfabe.
Indeed.
In '96 there was still a hint of it left.
So, as Mike today puts it, welcome to the first pay-per-view of the new Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, Eric Bischoff regime. That is how they choose to welcome us into Turning Point, a show where Hulk Hogan isn't there, a show that barely has anything to do with Ric Flair. This is what's wrong? They're still doing this regime. They're still doing like this.
It's all about a regime.
Right. This overlay that's supposed to add intrigue.
Well, what we're trying to do, brother. We're trying to make the brand what matters, brother.
Wrestling matters, Hulk?
Dude. Wrestling matters, brother. I'm the VP of Wrestling Matters, dude.
Yeah, instead of Wrestling Affairs or Wrestling Matters. Go to the main event. It's Jeff Hardy versus Matt Morgan for the title. Tail of the tape. Hardy's deal with the devil pays dividends. Concussion costs Anderson championship chance. And Morgan steps up and bid for first world title, in case you were wondering. What's going to make the difference in this one-on-one contest?
Yeah. I'll tell you, the match starts today. Today recalls what Matt Hardy has said in regards to Matt Morgan, and it goes as following. And this might be the most disappointing thing about Jeff Hardy's heel turn.
When Hardy was talking about Turning Point, he said, we're going to let the blood flow. You're going to see the real side of Jeff Hardy, and he promised the twist of hate would put away Matt Morgan.
What's the problem?
I don't know about twist of hate.
I don't like it.
I don't think Twist of Fate would work either, but...
way too forced.
Twist of Hate is just stupid.
Yeah, thumbs down. Not clever. Here comes the blueprint, Matt Morgan.
I liked selling in much better than...
that was a botch.
I sold in!
How do you sell in? What does that even mean? How do you sell into something?
Don't ask me, but he did it, and I'm happy about it.
God. I guess Hulk is sold into the finish, right? You can sell into the finishing sequence.
Sold him. Sold him, more brother. Sell.
Yeah.
Dude.
It's gotten that bad at TNA that Hogan's now just looking at like the TV going, sell. Like, sell a ticket, sell a pay-per-view, sell a t-shirt, goddammit, sell something.
Sell some revenue, brother. Add revenue.